All right, PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. We've discussed it before, but this is an update for you. This video is going to explain to you how much you get, where you have to apply, when you have to apply, and what you have to do. First of all, subscribe below and like the video so we get more updates to you. All right, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA. It's passed by the federal government, but it's administered by your state. That means basically your state's unemployment website is where you have to go to apply. Remember, your state, where you live, your state's unemployment website is where you go to apply. Do you qualify? Your state will have on their website a series of parameters for you to read to indicate whether you qualify. Basically, PUA was passed by the federal government for people who would normally qualify for unemployment insurance, for unemployment benefits, but don't because they are an independent contractor or self-employed. PUA is established to correct that situation. What does that mean? Basically, if you are a person who would normally get a W-2, you have already by now applied, and you were laid off or reduced hours, you have already by now applied for unemployment benefits. But what happens if you are a self-employed individual whose business was impacted by coronavirus? You would not have qualified for unemployment before PUA was adopted. Because of PUA, you now can apply. Where do you apply? You apply on your state's website. The state's website is a critical issue, and this video is explaining to you when and how to apply. When, the answer is right now. You need to, at the end of this video, go to your state's unemployment website and see if their PUA page of their unemployment website is live yet. What do I mean? In some cases, states have already enabled, through their technology people, a pre-application for PUA. They are not waiting to April 28th. That means if you get the information in ahead of time, they have it, and on April 28th, they can process it. In other states' cases, and you can see here we are recording in front of the Hermosa Beach Pier in California. In the case of California, their PUA website is not live. If you go to the unemployment website in California, the PUA page is referenced, and it says, come back on April 28th, it'll be live. Well, yeah, everyone will be coming back on April 28th to find out where that page is. But in other states, they have the page live, and they've already accepted and received applications and are ready to process them on April 28th. So go to your state's website at the end of this video and know where that page is. It may be live now, and it may be receiving information. All right, who qualifies for PUA? It's a very simple question. And the answer is also very simple. There's a series of parameters that are established by the federal government as to who would qualify for PUA. And generally, PUA is provided for a series of persons under certain scenarios. Those individuals are people who have a family member that suffered from coronavirus, or you suffer from coronavirus, and then 12 or 14 other situations below that. Jump to the last one when you see those lists of scenarios. Why? Because the last one is probably the one that applies to you. What does the last one say? It says, have you, as an independent contractor or self-employed, as a result of coronavirus, seen your daily work environment, and I'm paraphrasing for you, reduced from a full-time to no employment, or reduced to partial employment. The word partial is critical. That basically means that if, for example, there was a stay-at-home order, and because of it, you were able to work, you were, W-E-R-E, were able to work, but not able to work the number of hours you would normally work, you were reduced on the number of hours to work, you may qualify. So when you go to your state's website and they ask which of these scenarios apply to you, I am telling you, look at the last one, because the last one is probably the one that applies to you. Why do you need to look at that? Because it's going to ask you. It's going to ask you which of these scenarios apply to you, and it's generally probably going to be the last one. The last one is a catch-all. It is a over-encompassing answer for many people. And for your case, it may apply to you. How much do you get in benefits? Well, as described before in a previous video, it's paid in 3 stages if you qualify in each of the 3 stages. What's important to understand, a lot of people have asked this, is what does the word retroactive mean? It's a big word and it's sort of confusing. The first stage is retroactive back into February. What does that mean? It means if you qualify and you suffered impact to your daily employment because of coronavirus, and that period is earlier than when you applied, which clearly it is. We're talking about April 28th or late April when you're applying for PUA and you've been dealing with coronavirus for weeks. Well, it's retroactive. It goes back. They will pay you for those weeks before you applied for PUA, which is great. It basically says, hey, we understand you've been struggling for a lot of weeks. We're going to pay you for those weeks before you got your application for PUA in. How much you get, as a previous video explains, the first stage, which is February to March, you'll see it on your website. It's a couple weeks. That's $169 per week at least. The second stage, which is approximately March to May, and you'll see that on your state's website. It's at least $169 plus the $600. The $600 is what the federal government put in. The federal government threw $600 on top of it. So at least $169 plus $600 per week during that second stage. The third stage, not everyone will qualify for. This is basically people who, after the lockdown, after the stay-at-home order is lifted in your respective state, are still unemployed. They are not going back to work. This is for those type of people. You then go back to the 169. And it can go up to 30-something weeks. And if it tracks, and you have to update your unemployment website on a regular basis. So what do you need to know about the payment and when do you get the payment? All right, so as explained in a previous video, but I'll repeat it here, your payment comes in some cases not by check, but it comes by a debit card, for example, and I'm using California as an example. In California, they send you a debit card, and as you qualify for more benefits, the debit card will be funded with additional money. So basically, you will get the debit card initially, and then as you qualify for additional weeks under PUA, if you do, the card will be funded with more money. And you wondering, okay, debit card, why am I getting a debit card? That is a factor of delay. And I'm telling you right now, there's a delay factor with PUA. If you get your application in on April 28th, you listen to this video, as soon as this video is over, you like it, you subscribe, and you go right to your unemployment website and apply for PUA, or get ready to apply on April 28th, how quickly do you get your card? Well, look at your website for your individual state. But in California, there's a delay because if you've not previously been unemployed, they have to send you that debit card. They have to manufacture a debit card with a number and your name, and they have to send it to you, and then you'll start getting funds. And in California, it's a couple of weeks. It's approximately 4 weeks. So there is some delay. Basically, how much money can you get? Big question. How much money can you get? In the second phase, which almost everyone may qualify for, the second phase is February to March. A lot of people have been on stay-at-home orders into March. The second phase, you can get at least approximately $3,000 per month. And this is in addition to everything else that might be going on in your life. And that's a question that's been asked before. So you got a stimulus check, or you're going to get a stimulus check, or you got an EIDL check, or you may be getting an EIDL check. Can you get a PUA check as well? Yes. PUA is something different. PUA is given to you. It is a grant. It is not something you repay. It is not a loan. So do not think that it's anything like PPP. It is something that is given to you and that you refund. You don't refund PUA. PUA is money that is given to you and it is yours. PUA is your money and it will be provided to you. You don't repay it. So there you go. The PUA is a additional item that hasn't gotten a lot of coverage. It goes live on April 28th. You need to know about it. You need to be informed, and you need to get that application in ASAP. By April 28th, I want to understand and know that you have, if you think you qualify, you have gotten yourself prepared and have gotten it in. There'll be further updates about this. Stay informed and stay with us for more.